welcome to the SoloMid EU Invitational. We are going to be bringing you the losers finals and the grand finals today. Of the start, it's going to be Gamers2 taking on SK Prime in the best of three to see who goes on to fight Ninjas in Pajamas. I'm Egag. Going to be joining me here is the wonderful and lovely Spuddington, and we should be ready to go with that lobby.
Yes, indeed. We are in Champion Select now. Picks and bans coming out right now. In fact, mostly bans at the moment. Given that they happen first, we have 5 of them so far. A Jax ban, Lulu ban, Ziggs ban coming out from Gamers2. And 2 of the bans from SK so far. Irelia and Kassadin being the target choices. Only 1 second left on the final one here. And it is Braum. Okay. Well, he's open to play.
You know, I would really love to see just these players get their hands on Braum. He's really strong. His passive is so good. That stun is just ridiculous, and just pairing it with ADCs who can benefit off of that, like Lucian or anything like that, just so good. But the Jax ban, he's been very popular up top. Ziggs mid, Lulu mid, Kassadin. Kassadin's seen a resurgence himself, even despite the nerfs. And Irelia top 2, just another good targeted ban.
Yeah, indeed. And Irelia, I mean, obviously, Gad, you mostly cast American stuff. Irelia has always been a higher priority in Europe than she is anywhere else in the world at the moment. I'd say she's pretty much the number 2 here. Like, it goes Jax, then it goes Irelia. Ryze has actually sort of slipped out of the meta, and he's available to pick this game. Not sure if we'll see that. Obviously, the further he slips down in terms of priority, the larger the chance that he's going to get that one game where he gets a lane where he's really, really good and can then dominate from that position with a lot of farm. But so far, we've got a couple of picks coming in. Twitch left unbanned. SK Prime, not sure whether they want to pick it up at the moment, but Gamers2 have locked in LeBlanc.
Okay, so we're gonna see Ocelot on that LeBlanc mid. You know, maybe there's a top LeBlanc somewhere out there in the European scene. You know, just take teleport, farm up, and then just get a DFG and roam around all over the place.
It's been
done. It has been done. And from what I'm seeing from SK side, it looks like they already locked in the Kha'Zix as well as the Thresh. So we're gonna see that in the bot lane for the support as well as the jungle Kha'Zix for SK.
Yeah, nothing too surprising here. Gilius, one of his favorite champions, is the Kha'Zix jungle. We saw it, I think, yesterday going really quite crazy, and he actually took an unconventional choice, went for the wings upgrade first, which was interesting, but that game was extremely bloodthirsty, so I'm not sure if he'll look to do that all the time, but in taking the Kha'Zix and the Thresh there, they are opening themselves up to support counter picks, and they've also allowed Twitch through, which is a perilous thing to do, it seems.
Yeah, Yuki's gonna pick up that Twitch instantly, as well as we're gonna see the Lee Sin for Modern in the jungle role, or for JWoww up top. Still can he's a flip floppy champion if you want to do that, and he can take out Kha'Zix early on and try to snowball out of that jungle, but Kha'Zix can do the same. Obviously, they both have quite a bit of good mobility, safeguard for Lee Sin, and the leap coming out from Kha'Zix. I see Lucian getting locked in already with Thresh, so that 100% lifesteal lane in the bot lane, as well as Syndra for What a Fox.
Yeah, indeed. I do not believe we've seen What the Fox playing Syndra so far. Although that might be my memory playing a trick on me, because now I'm thinking that I have seen it quite a lot. Regardless, though, Syndra, very, very strong mid laner, does actually lane against LeBlanc effectively, which is quite a rare treat. Very few champions can deal with LeBlanc easily in lane. And the problem, of course, is that even though in a one-on-one sense Syndra does quite well, if LeBlanc gets the chain down and the jungler is there, there's a very high chance Syndra is going to end up very, very dead.
Yeah, that lack of mobility is something that's kept Syndra out of the high top competitive tier for quite a while. We're going to see if G2 have any kind of strategy set up for that. They have Lee Sin. He can just get in with a Sonic Wave, Resing Strike, just Tempest Crippler, and just make her life a nightmare in that mid lane. But from what I see, Leona has been picked up for the Twitch Leona down bot, as well as the Renekton still hovered over for JWoww. I think it's going to be locked in, yeah, and it's going to be a jungle Lee Sin.
Yeah, so Gamers2 have picked themselves a very pick-orientated composition here. They've got LeBlanc, they've got Twitch, they've got Leona, they've got Lee Sin. Very mobile, very capable of snowballing. If you give them vision control over your jungle, you're basically saying, please force us to rotate somewhere on the map, then pick off one person at a time. And SK Prime are not as, like, especially if you've taken a Syndra mid lane, they may be vulnerable to that kind of a strategy being caught out. But obviously, That's a lot less effective for Gamers2 if they fall behind. Waiting on the final pick now from SK Prime. Does look like they're planning on picking Shyvana into Renekton here.
Okay, so just have a battle of the tanks up top. We could see Renekton go for the Hydra build. I know in the American scene at least that the Renekton Hydra build is something that we see fairly common in the Challenger scene. So we'll see if he goes for the Sunfire Randuin route or just go straight Hydra into Sunfire if that. But Shyvana does get locked in, and we'll see that matchup up top.
Yeah, it tends to be what we see more often than Hydra nowadays is just finish the Tiamat and rely on the Q for your sustain in a fight. So you can still itemize for your defenses a little bit quicker. You don't have to invest an extra 1,000 or so gold into getting the finished item. But of course, final lineups are now locked in. So guys, we will be going into the delay timer in just a second. But in the meantime, while we go to a quick commercial break, feel free to check out our sponsors, ProBuilds.net and Logitech Gaming headsets, I believe. So guys, we'll be right back.
Alright guys, welcome back here to Game 1 of Gamers2 taking on SK Prime. I'm Egag, going to be joining me here Spuddington for the Team SoloMid EU Invitationals. This is going to be the loser bracket. These teams are fighting to go up against Ninjas in Pajamas, who are in the Grand Finals waiting for their opponent. And we're on the Rift.
Yeah, you're on the Rift. I'm on the loading screen. Should be in eventually, but I think that's just my PC doing something funny.
It's just a little bit of a 5-man spread coming out from G2, just a safe start. With the changes to the wards that was in the most recent patch, they come out at 30 seconds now, so you can drop them fairly early on, and invades seem to have become a thing of the past, and no more blind 5-man running into blue or red buffs for any team.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. I mean, if you really rush out, you can try, if you've got like a thresh hook or something like that, you can always try, because you can speculate where they're going to ward, and, you know, go for that, but usually risk versus reward, it's just not a worthwhile trade to go for. I'm starting to suspect my client may have crashed because everyone is still on 100% loaded on my screen, but
no.
Oh, my cursor just changed.
Well,
maybe I'll get in.
That's a sign.
It's a mystery.
One day. But so far, everybody's just been fairly calm. We do see Morden dropping out a ward towards the entrance of SK's red buff, where Smithy is just waiting there. He's going to keep Gilius safe, and it looks like Gilius might be going for a red start, while Morden might be hinting at he wants to start a blue. And no lane swaps, nothing crazy like that for this early start at least.
No, indeed. But that does mean, of course, that we will have standard jungle routes, but both of these junglers going to be starting parallel here. Blue buff Lee Sin heading downwards, and Kha'Zix doing much the same. And assuming they are aware of that, and certainly Kha'Zix, they should know, is starting a red buff, there is a lot of potential to counter gank should Kha'Zix go for that early gank down in the bottom lane. We'll see who gets the pushing race down in that bot lane, because that's probably going to determine who's the aggressive jungler in that lane as well.
Yeah, and the bot lane already has a bit of a lead for SK, as they did get the earlier push. Thresh started with the Relic Shield, so he gets those easier auto last hits on the minions, as well as helping out Lucian shove the lane early on, and getting him some little extra well-needed gold. But the same for Leona, started the Relic Shield, so when that wave does get to the turret, she'll help out Yuki quite a bit. But they're going to take quite a bit of poke here. Zaitan, you know, using that range and abusing Diodi quite well.
Yeah, and I think this is actually the first time I've seen Yuki playing Twitch. He is a very, very skilled AD carry player, but he tends to play the mid-game burstia types. He plays Lucian, he plays Graves phenomenally well. I have yet to see him on the more late-game oriented hyper carry, although, in fairness, Twitch does scale up faster than most of those hyper carry type of champions, just because he gets so much free stats off his basic, off his skills.
Whoa, there was a bit of Zenith Blade in by Diodi. He's gonna get flayed back, and Death Sentence Ignite comes out. He's gonna get the heal off. He's gonna flash and die to the last auto attack of Zykes. Here comes Morden. He forces the flash out of Zykes, and that'll be first blood over to SK Prime.
Jumping the gun a bit. I feel like he thought Morden was a little bit closer than he actually was, so the support on the gank was not there. He very nearly baited them in, but did not get that. Not going to lose Yuki too much farm, though. They're not in a position to freeze him out here. Ziz will have to just shove him into the tower. And so it's just the one support death, and obviously a kill for Lucian. None of which is ideal, but could be worse.
It could definitely be worse, but he's going to go back. He currently has 900 gold in the bank, so he'll be able to pick up his Vampiric Scepter and come back to the lane and be able to sustain a little bit better. as well as Zaitan being able to pick up his Targon's Embrace. So they're going to be looking pretty strong in that lane. Actually, he goes for a Ruby Crystal, so going to rush out that Sightstone first.
Okay, that's an interesting choice there. Now, actually, going to have to keep an eye on the mid lane right now. Well, the Fox has very little mana, but he's okay. Kha'Zix was waiting around in case the Blanc decided to go a little bit too anti there, but Ocelot will not be doing that today.
No, he had Gilius waiting in the wings, if anything, so he could have tried to possibly bait out Ocelot. Lee Sin is making his way towards mid too, so might be looking for some counter juggling of the Wraiths or trying to find a nice angle to come in on that Syndra.
Not going to find it easy there. Morton, not too much presence in this game, obviously to get that one appearance in the bot lane. Kha'Zix keeping up with him on farm, and you've always got to be careful as Lee Sin. If Kha'Zix starts getting ahead of a Lee Sin, you lose a lot of your invasion potential that you would normally expect to have in that matchup. Kha'Zix, if he gets you isolated, he's going to outscale you very, very hard.
Yeah, they actually, didn't they reduce the isolation proc range, or was it increased?
Yeah, the range. So you have to be like further from other things in order to be isolated. Speaking of which...
Wow. That was a lot of damage. Gilius just jumping in onto Ocelot and canceling his back, so just being a bit of a hindrance there. And Ocelot will be able to back just fine.
Isolation still does quite a bit of damage, worth noting.
Yeah, it does do quite a bit of damage. Look at Morden right now. Smitty's in the brush in front of him. Is he going to pop out is the question. No. All right, so the back goes through. They just inches of range between them. And Smitty walks forward, and Morden's like, damn, I could have gone for that gank.
And God for the spectator delay, or he may have heard you on stream. But that would be awkward. So we're just having a fairly passive early game right now. Bot lane is starting to open up quite a big gap now. SK Prime are utilizing the advantage they got. They're getting that extra CS gap, and that does mean that obviously Yuki will have to be careful. And I expect to see Morden will try and apply some pressure, given that he already knows those flashes are down in the near future. At the moment, he's just going to clean out the mid lane, though, and everyone's just going to keep on farming.
I feel like Morden getting that mid lane farm is a little crucial to him, because he wants to get that earlier 6 so he can start getting the Dragon Rage ultimates off into his ganks. And the flash is only going to be down for about a couple more seconds down bot too. I mean, not a couple more seconds, but about 30 to 40 more seconds on that bot lane. So he has a very small window to capitalize on that summoner cooldown.
There's an interesting fact that just happened up top. So the ultimate used by Shyvana, she had to use that to get away. Was going to lose out the trade very, very hard. And actually right now, more importantly, we have both junglers tying up in bot.
They do end up getting the stun with his eyes. He's going to get that Lantern and drag himself out. Death Sentence goes back in onto Deode. He drops Exhaust on Gilius, though, who can't further his advance. And they'll both just be backing off while Zai's gets taken down very low. So he's going to have to go back to base and heal up. While Ocelot, the chain does get broken by Waterfox.
Yeah, it's a pleasing reprieve, I think, there for Yuki in the bottom lane. He'll be able to get his farm, get pushed out, and he's going to hit level 6 soon. So repeat gank with a Leona level 6 would be very, very scary, and obviously Twitch combos very, very well as well. Since as long as you're on the aggressive and you're not going to just get turned around on, Twitch does so much damage with Leona that you can set up ganks very, very easily with that while trading in the top lane, but it's not quite as serious as I thought.
Yeah, Twitch can capitalize on this red procs pretty easily from Leona, so we'll see if they can put that into effect when she hits that level 6, gets the Rat-a-tat-tat, no longer Spray and Parry, combination with Solar Flare.
I refuse to change the name. I'm with Monte Cristo
I will always
on this.
say Rat-a-tat-tat. Best name ever for a skill.
I'm not convinced. I think I don't know why you're supporting Riot in this decision. That's clearly targeted at casters that they changed that name.
Hey, it's a little bit of fun, alright? Riot can have some fun too with the names.
It's not fun when I'm wrong.
Twitch using Spray, I mean Rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, this is serious problem for casters. You get shouted at if you're wrong, all that kind of thing. But in less linguistics related news, Gilius is going to pass across the blue buff right now, and the blue buff has been passed across to Ocelot. So there's a slight opportunity now to look for a roam. Like Ocelot made it looking to go up top. Smitty would have to be very careful if he got caught off guard by this.
He doesn't have a Warnish Tri-Bush either, yeah. So actually Ocelot's just going to back off, go straight back to mid. He doesn't want to miss out on too much farm. If he gives Syndra an inch in this lane, she can have a bit of a good time against him.
Smitty was backing off and wasn't looking too safe. Obviously, he didn't know where Gilius was, so a dive would be a little bit risky. Well, bot lane continued just poking out, but it's worth noting Yuki is starting to catch back up again on farm. Now 65 to 72. It's not only decreased the gap, the flat gap in terms of how much CS each of those AD carries has, it's also decreased the gap proportionally since now the totals are much higher. So, JWoww may be the next target.
Yeah, we'll see what the target's going to be. Diody's very close to 6 at this point, so he could look to fight very soon. But, you know, Zaitan and Zeiss have already hit their point to look for a fight. If they hit a death sentence, it's going to be dangerous, especially if they hit on Yuki. So, have to be watching out for that. A ping goes in on the Kha'Zix, too. It's kind of in the Baron pit, so he's going to be forced to leap out while Oslo forces him out. And JWoww pops the ultimate up top, so looking for a bit of damage on Smitty. He has Gilius in the back, though. Dragon's Descent comes through. They're going to go into the JWoww and then back straight on out as Morden shows himself, too. So, not looking to go into that 2-2 exchange.
Yeah, the leap cooldown at this stage for Gilius, which he was forced to use to get away from the bonk, is massively long.
Oh, wow. Oslet trying to make the plays on Gilius down bot, chunks him down top, tries to chunk him out and force him back. They just leap. Alright. They find one of Fox too. Morgan's gonna kick him towards Ocelot now. He's gonna flash through the wall and be met by JWoww, but pops his ultimate in the Ignite. He's gonna heal off the Call of the Meek. The Golems do some damage on top of it, and the Ignite is enough to take him down. That's the 1-for-1 while down bot. The poison is ticking down at the eyes. Is it gonna be enough to kill him through the potion? It looks like the answer to that is gonna be no. Decimus connects onto the invisible Yuki, and they should be able to back out of here. Zaitan's gonna get slowed up just a little bit. Diody with no solar flare can't really look to go for that follow-up on the dive. So overall, it's just a 1-for-1 globally.
Yeah, they force him out of the lane though, and that's always a worrying sign. Twitch, his lane presence is not weak, but if you don't suppress him in lane, he develops into a teamfight monster, which is kind of problematic. We're seeing a push on the mid lane now, and it looks like they're just going to rotate in here for the, I said the word, damn it, dragon here. So they should be able to just get that.
Oh boy, let the Monte Cristo face spam begin. But Dragon is looking to be completed very fast. Coming out here from the side of Gamers2. They should be able to snag this one up in a couple seconds, and there it goes. And they secure themselves that nice around 1,000 gold lead. So, doing a good job in this earlier stage. JWoww as well having a good showing in that top lane with their around 20 CS lead advantage over Smitty.
Yeah, they're just building themselves some slightly worrying parts for their opponents.
Waterfox gets chained and silenced up. Gilius was there behind him to chase down Ocelot if anything, but Ocelot's able to retreat and Morden was there just in case.
I really do have to question Gilius going for the wings this game. He has not been finding a lot of ganks as it is, and obviously getting the wings upgrade does increase the potential for ganks a lot, but it also makes it so much more risky, especially against such a bursty team. If he's out of position at all, he will just get practically 100-0'd by Ocelot because he's lower on levels and hasn't got any kind of defensive items at this point. So Gilius is going to have to be pixel perfect in where he chooses to position himself for ganks and where he positions himself in ganks.
Yeah, the positioning is always key on Kha'Zix. You can come in with the ultimate. You know, they did increase the time again, so they kind of buffed it, then nerfed it, and buffed it again. So we'll see if he can utilize that. He did, like you said, evolve wings, so needs to get the resets in the fights, or else he's just going to be left there stranded and most likely will get picked up very easily. They're looking for an engage on bot, but Zeiss just dashes right on out and has the lantern, if anything.
Yeah, so good usage there of mobility on both sides. Ocelot going to take, wow, quite a bit of damage there from Waterfox. That was just QER, I think. Pretty much just, one straight combo takes him down there, and he didn't even get the ball stacked up ahead of time for the bonus damage. That's Sidra.
And you can see the Athenes coming into effect. If he didn't have that Athenes rush, then he definitely would have been chunked out even harder and possibly forced to go back. He just chucks up the potions and makes his way to the lane. Still, he gets stunned up again. Kind of playing with his life there. Waterfox completely abusing him out in that matchup. JWoww's kind of trying to let Morden get some room to come in for a gank on a Smitty. But Smitty's just going to be underneath this turf for the most part.
It's pretty difficult to deal with Syndra in lane, as I've mentioned before, and because of the Athene's rush that Waterfox has, of course, he's going to have his ultimate up pretty quickly. So, back up in about 30-odd seconds. Will he look to roam? I don't expect it here, but it looks like he's going top anyway. Nah, he's just warding. It would be a bit strange to leave the lane, very obviously going top, and then go top anyway, since you'd most likely be met on the way by a very angry blind man. He tends to Supposed to be looking at the map somehow. I don't know. He does that. Somehow.
You never know. It could be so obvious that you never expect it. Oh, Zenith Blade from Diode does not find a mark.
The general merchant strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Yuki takes quite a bit of poke, though, in that trade against Zayas, so that Bloodthirster putting in some work for him, while it looks like the Blade of the Rune King rush is coming out from Yuki. And gonna be waiting for that to come online for him. And does he go Shiv after Blade, or is it PD?
Well, I think we've actually seen a couple of different builds coming out of Yuki, and like I say, I haven't seen Yuki specifically playing Twitch at all, as I recall. He's mostly been banned this tournament, so it was a little bit of a surprise to see him slipping through here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a Phantom Dancer, honestly. It would give you that creative bit of mobility.
Morden's gonna get jumped on here. Gilius is gonna use the stealth. He's gonna get kicked away. The stun comes in from a nice range from Fox. Now changing his attention to Ocelot. Gonna get a bunch of damage from the orbs. Ulti Ignite. The Ignite is gonna take him down. Ocelot's trying to dash in to get some damage and exchange his Ignite, but it's not enough. While Zaitan in the bot lane is gonna get the poison on him, but Ziz is able to take down Yuki. And will Zaitan fall? He will, to the max stack of those poison damage. And overall, it's a 3-for-1 globally, and a good fight for SK.
Yeah, suddenly all those slight advantages Gamers2 had built up for themselves have kind of gone out the window, and now Lucian in particular is looking very, very scary. It's also going to lead to 2 towers dropping. This is a big deal, or it should lead to 2 towers dropping, assuming Ziz decides to take that bottom tower. I imagine he's going to want to throw some creeps into it, but we did see, I think, it may have actually been Ziz yesterday misjudging it rather unfortunately. But no, he's going to take that tower. And that is now suddenly quite a significant goal lead. 2,000 over their opponents here.
Yeah, really good for them getting that lead as well as picking up those kills. The lull in the action did end up stopping, you know. The slow-paced game did start to explode. And in the mid stage, you know, Kha'Zix is very, very strong. He can use that passive as well as his ultimate to just start fights so easily, and catching at least him by himself, just using the isolation and completely decimating him. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a 3-man roam up towards this top lane here, but Ocelot just makes a detour towards the river again, probably going to go back to mid.
Yeah, of course, this is where Gamers2's composition is also going to start to shine, because much of the same stuff that applies to Kha'Zix is going to apply to their comp, but JWoww.
Wow, he actually just flashes back, but Slicing Dice comes in from JWoww. He's going to go in. They didn't expect Gillis to be there. They just kick him out. They're going to focus down JWoww. The flash comes in from Gillis as well. He's going to slow him up and get him with the red buff. He gets the reset on the leap and is able to jump away, but Morden just flashes after him. Tempest Cripple comes in, auto attacks for the cleanup, and Smitty also just backs off after Morden chases down his teammate, so not able to follow up with a return kill, so that's just going to be a 1-for-1.
Yeah, it was smart play by Morden there. He was not willing to risk missing the kill there and probably getting himself killed on an unreliable Q, so he just flashed in, went for the E. But of course, the commitment up top does mean now there is the potential for this mid lane push. Shyvana is tanky, so she's going to be safe teleporting in there. I was thinking for a second, I'm not sure you always want to be teleporting straight into Leona, LeBlanc, and Twitch, but going to get away with it that time.
Yeah, and with Dragon spawning, everybody's making their way down. Pink wards and wards getting dropped out from both sides, so gonna see some sweeping as well. But the Dragon is being started up, so the side of SK looking to snag this one through. They don't even have their jungle, though. Gilius is respawned and making his way down fast. Lee Sin, though, coming in for Gamers2 is going to be able to make it in time. As they do get in, the Dragon is slowly resetting just a little bit. Death Sentence does not connect either from Zaitan. SK kind of hesitating on this, looking to back off. Maybe looking to go in. Smitty is leading the charge. He does have that Sunfire cape. He is very tanky, so have to be very careful from Gamers2's side, too, to not let him just go rampant in the back line. So they're going to play that game of who's going to pull the trigger first. Smitty looks to go forward. Ocelot almost getting that chain, but does end up getting a 2-man stun from Fox. They try to blow Ocelot up. He does get away with that distortion, but in the meanwhile, JWoww's in the box, stuck in there. Nice solar flare to disengage from 2, but they're flashing after the ignite. The auto attacks from Zyes is going to put him on a killing spree on that Lucian, and able to take the 1-for-none, and most likely the Dragon after that nice stun coming in from Fox.
Yeah, the Syndra stun rears its head again. Up until that point, that was actually looking like a really bad situation for SK Prime. They started the Dragon, they took some damage, but they definitely didn't want to risk being caught in the pit by a Leona jump in and a spray and pray follow up from Twitch. So they were left in this position where they were, whatever you want to call it. His R, his ult, the spray and pray, whatever, you know, the proper name. But if they had been caught in that situation, they would have lost the team fight. And they had the weaker poke there. Typically, you wouldn't expect them to be able to catch a LeBlanc out though with the Syndra stun. As it was, they were able to get that. Obviously, that led to an advantage team fight for them, and they felt it saved them there from potentially just waiting around until LeBlanc could find a kill over a wall.
And up top, both of the top laners have picked up their Sunfire cape, so they're just trading back and forth, but the burnout from the Shyvana being Smitty coming out ahead there in that trade, and JWoww kind of can't call the meek through it, so having a bit of a rough time. Ocelot gets his blue buff now to go against Waterfuck in the mid lane, and Waterfuck picked up a huge item for him now. Needless to know, looks like JWoww's going to look to go for it all in here with that Dominus popped. Smitty J not popping the Dragon's Descent just yet, but not able to follow it up. They do get a stun from Waterfox in mid. He does get some harass out of Ocelot, and they just back out, and they're looking to possibly 3-man push this mid lane.
I'm not sure I would be pushing the mid lane with 3 people right now as SK, because there's a little bit too heavy of a commitment. You don't know where Morden is, although Morden is likely to be found very, very shortly. Gilius is heading up. Both of them should know their junglers are here.
Oh, they get the kick, and they get the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. Morden able to easily snipe off that kill.
It's like seeing a bird leave the nest and then instantly get killed by a farmer.
Oh, that's horrible. Alright, Gilius
I wasn't suggesting it was a pleasant experience for Smitty. Oh, Yuki.
Poor guy. Zaitan is there too. Look for a hook. He cannot find it. Does hit the golem though. Morden's getting taken dangerous while the Flay connects. The Ignite goes down and he's able to pick up the kill. Gilius still stealthing around looking for JWoww. Gonna get the face of the mountain shield as well. They get the death sentence. He slices the wrong way. He gets taken out. Zaitan picks up a kill, but meanwhile the mid tier 1 goes down to Yuki, Ocelot, and Diodi. So they're looking to push a tier 2 here. What? I think Zai's and the teleport is gonna be able to stop them from doing that.
Yeah, Waterfox kind of got caught out in the situation in the mid lane there, so while all the stuff was going on in the top lane...
Wow!
I didn't really see what happened there, but he's dead now! That is not an improvement of state for Ziz. Alright,
so good job, Ocelot. He stored it in with both, and then hit the auto attacks, got the Ignite, and picked up the kill, so... that was sneaky, I didn't even pick it up, but really good job to him to snipe off that kill. He gets the killing spree gold too, which was much needed.
Yeah, that is a very, very good situation because Gamers2, like I said, their composition is starting to come into its own. They're creating picks across the map. We saw Syndra trying to counter it with her stun, but when she did that, she stunned Yuki in the gank on mid lane, but that left her open. She had no escape from that point. She got jumped on by LeBlanc and Leona because they've got such strong burst and mobile champions, and that did lead to her death. And obviously, without the Syndra damage, they couldn't actually kill Yuki either. So now, Ocelot doing something I think I've only ever seen Ocelot do on his LeBlanc, which is do this split push thing, basically. Because in many ways, it makes sense. He's hard to kill one-on-one, and he's very, very slippery. Good way.
The only problem is with that split push LeBlanc, he doesn't have teleport. So there was a ping out to the mid tier 2 as SK Prime is going to look to take advantage of him being down bot, and they will actually get the tier 2 in mid lane. The Sheen procs and Zai's damage is just too much for that turret to take. Falls down. Now they're going to ping up top and maybe look for a 5-man push up there, or a flank on the JWoww to try to take him out. They're going to look for some wards sweeping out, and will they look for a death sentence is the question. They do find Smitty J. The Solar Flare lands on a Fox though. Zenith Blade comes in. He gets stunned up. He pushes away Ocelot, but it's not enough to save him. Morden finds the kill. Meanwhile, Gilius gets 1. He tries to go in for more, but Morden gets the double. Death Sentence gets on a JWoww while Smitty is poisoned up. He has to run away. The culling from Zai is not really landing the mark as they divert their attention. Ocelot gets Death Sentence out of Zaitan. It's just a matter of time before the slice and dice is up. Zaitan gets taken out here. Yuki finds 1. He's gonna stealth up and chase. Double distortion comes in from Ocelot, finding the kill on a killing spree now. Zai is able to get the jump over the wall, but finds Ocelot and is able to shut him down and take a return killing spree bonus. That's a 4 for 2 still, but really in favor of Gamers2. That was well played by them. A bit of a overstay from SK.
Yeah, that's the problem with an immobile mage. You put 1 foot out, you get bursted down very, very quickly, and that led his team into basically fighting in conga line formation against Twitch. That's a terrible place to be. And even though he didn't pick up that many of the kills, he was hitting for a lot throughout that fight. So now Gamers2, well, they're still not actually ahead in this game. They have lost a few more towers than their opponents, but, well, 1. But that is probably not going to last at this rate.
Definitely won't last at this rate. So Dragons would be coming up at 40 seconds. We're going to see probably some wards get played out there. Baron, I don't think anybody wants to go for that just yet. From what I've learned from the NA scene, Stop going for early Barons when everybody's up still. But we'll see if EU is any better at that.
No. Actually, statistically, apparently Europe is even more focused on the Baron.
Waterfox was forced to flash away, gets kicked into the wall. He's going to get slowed up by the Tempest Cripple. Gilius is there. Waterfox is going to get blown up before anything can happen. He does drop his ultimate, though, on a Morden. Gilius is doing a bunch of damage here, flashing forward. Ocelot with a nice juke back into the distortion. Safeguard. Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. Morden just juking all over the place. He's going to get the chain in. Death Sentence does not connect. It's just a matter of time before Ocelot fails. He's going to run into the turret, take a hit from that. He gets the dash over. Zykes with the snipe. The Ardent Blaze picks up the kill for Zyes, and that'll shut down Ocelot, as well as it just being a 1-for-1. Both mid lanes falling there.
That was pretty good usage of the juking abilities of Lee Sin and LeBlanc combined, but still, it is the Dragon that goes the way of SK Prime. They won the team fight overall effectively there, basically because it was a bit of an overcommitment from Gamers2 once again. Now, is Smitty going to find himself in trouble here? JWoww is trying to bait him in, I feel, by going aggressive there, but not biting. He's just clearing the wave, keep shoving in. He's now stronger than Renekton in a 1-1, which is quite a big deal.
Alright, well, this tier 2 down bot, since he took a bunch of damage from Zyes here, he's just going to keep laying on into it. A few more will take it down, but they're kind of scared that Yuki might be stealthing up and going towards Flay. Back out, the war jump comes through, but a Flay stops him and forces him to kick him in the wrong direction. Teleport comes in as well. Death Sentence connects on Yori, the box, he flashes through it. Smitty is there. Is he going to look for the dive is the question. No, decides to back out. The culling comes out as well for a little bit of poke. There's a counter teleport from JWoww now. Death Sentence to stop him from advancing. He's going to get the Dominus off as well. Stun coming in from Waterfox on the side, but he gets blown up. JWoww focuses him down. Meanwhile, Diody's in the back line helping out his Twitch. Yuki finds the kill. Solar Flare comes up. JWoww flashing in and getting the Call of the Meek to heal up and survive. Yuki still going in with the damage. Death Sentence connects, but he cannot find the kill. Smitty getting low from the poison. Ocelot looking for some kind of chase onto this. Yuki is stealthed up, looking to find a slow onto 3 members here. They're all grouped up. This could be perfect. They missed the Death Sentence, but they do find the laser onto him from Lucian. Double kill comes in, an overextension coming in from G2 now at this point. Zyes is going to end up getting taken down. Triple kill from Diody. Zyes gets the triple kill there. And that's going to be a 4 for 2 overall.
So you'll notice right now, maybe, if you look at the minimap, there was just a blue ping on the lower brush there in the lane. There is a pink in that brush. That is the entire reason that Gamers2 just got destroyed for chasing, because Yuki thought he could very safely chase that up. Instead, he walked straight into the focus of all of them, got bursted down, and at that point, Gamers2 didn't really have any more damage to keep going with the chase, and were forced to run, be on the defense of themselves, which has cost them quite a lot, and is looking like it might cost them some more in just a second. When this Baron goes down, Morden is there, but I don't really think he's even going to try.
He could try. He does go for the Sonic Wave, the safeguard over the wall, but now he's in a carrier spot. Yeah. I think they get the stun. Wow. But he's able to Sonic Wave Resonating Strike towards a ranged minion and able to get away with his life. But Baron, the first one of the game, going over to SK Prime.
Yeah, Syndra's stun is remarkably good. I think we looked it up yesterday. I think it's 1100 range, effectively, the stun from that. And it's a 1.5 second stun, and it's AoE. So, quite a strong ability, deceptively strong, you could say. But that is one of the reasons she is a popular pick, in spite of being an immobile mage, which is, I think, makes her almost unique nowadays. Like, I can't think of many mid laners that are immobile mages and get played.
Would you count Orianna? She doesn't really have a dash.
Yes,
she does have a little
Orianna
bit of speed
is Orianna, I'd count. She's an immobile mage, but then she's been legendarily strong throughout the entirety of League of Legends because of, like, since she was released, she's been a popular champion in competitive play. I think Shockwave is just so good, and she scales so well, and she lanes so safely. But yeah, so there's two. Of the entire mid lane pool.
Unfortunately for Waterfox, he's only 2 and 5, so that lack of mobility is coming into the thing. But JWoww just chased him down that last fight too, just sliced and diced and just blew him up with the help of Ocelot. So team fights for Syndra are a little shaky unless she initiates them with her stun there. But now there's a bit of a 4-man rotation coming around towards the bot lane for SK Prime as they want to look to possibly push that one down while they have Baron available to them. So we'll see that turret that is very low will most likely go down in this next wave. Zyes is just going to actually face tank it and take it out right there.
Yeah, and this is not the result I was expecting. Being honest about how this game I was expecting it to go. Gamers2 have generally been second only to NIP in terms of their dominance throughout the challenger scene for a while. As SK Prime, this lineup is quite a new team.
Wow, Gilius is going to get chunked out there. Just a simple Sigil Silence combination coming in from Ocelot. He's going to be forced to back off and heal off those golems just a little bit. So Ocelot's hitting for quite a bit. He's got the death cap and Athene's completed, so they have to be a little careful with him.
Yeah, as long as they're sensible about it though, as long as Ziz doesn't get himself caught out, they should be able to siege in this tower, because they've got the stun threat from Syndra, the death sentence threat from Thresh, and they've got just the double shot Triforce proc to slowly chip away at the tower. In the meantime, of course, looks like Shyvana is applying some decent pressure in the top lane, and Gilius is wandering around taking jungle. Actually going to mid lane now. So SK Prime got to be careful now not to get engaged.
Yeah, so Morden goes in. He does get a safeguard onto the ward. Death Sentence going at a nice angle to try to look for Yuki, but cannot find it connecting. What Smitty should do, I think, right now is just ignore JWoww and go try to cut farm in the base. Take the 2 lanes in top and mid and just rally them to him and just clear them all out so that the waves can just keep pushing faster for both of those lanes.
It would be a bit brave though, because you've got to deal with the fact that if you're in the mid lane in the base, you're very close to LeBlanc. She's got a lot of lockdown if she uses the double chain, so maybe it could work. Might be a bit too risky for their taste.
Oh, Solar Flare comes in. Ziz is going to get initiated on. He gets the Mikhail's Crucible from his support there. Zaitan gets the box out as well. Waterfox is going to stay alive. Morden trying to flash after him, forcing out the flash. Death Sentence connects, so there's not much to follow up. Zaitan's going to get Blade of the Rune King and forced to run away from this one. 3-man stun coming in from Waterfox. Teleport as well from Smitty, as he is going to be forced to back out. He gets silenced up as well and chained up. But that fight was good for G2. They actually hold off, but the mid-tier mid inhibitor turret goes down from Zai's. So that frees open the inhibitor, and they're going to jump in. Gilius is looking for Diodi. Smitty is going to go in as well, but it will be Gilius getting blown up. JWoww is now in the back line, taking up everything he can. 2-man stun comes in from Waterfox from downtown. Zai's goes into the back line, trying to do what he can, but Ocelot blows him up beforehand. They try to kick Smitty into him, but can't find the target. The inhibitor is going to be targeted down here. Yuki is still stealthed up. He does not have Rat-a-tat-tat right now. The inhibitor will fall, and that'll be the 1-for-1. And an inhibitor going down mid, as well as a dragon, as SK looks to ping onto that and take it.
In spite of the fact that Waterfox doesn't have the best KDA this game, his stuns are doing a huge amount for his team. The fact that he basically stopped the attempt to keep going, keep chasing when Gamers2 won the fight in bot. He stunned them away, and that was what gave Ziz his chance to go for that mid tower. He also then, I think, stunned Yuki in the team fight that followed around the mid inhib. He had to flash out, he had to essentially put himself out of the fight, didn't do much damage, and as a result of that, SK Prime was able to take the fight. I mean, I don't want to underestimate what everyone else is doing, but the stuns are so crucial to the way this game is going. I feel I really have to mention them.
Yeah, he hit consecutively after they were getting chased away from that bot lane. He had a perfect 3-man stun to disengage while Smitty was teleporting, as well as that 2-man stun mid, which we just saw. And the multi-man stunts from Syndra, they're not that easy to hit, so a lot of credit to Waterfox. And now the blue buff's going to get started from Diodi. They're going to look to try to get that one over to Ocelot, and Baron is being cleared out. It's only got a minute and a half left, so we're going to see possibly the next big fight happen over there.
Yeah, because they know they've got map pressure as well from the middle inhib now. They can push out on the bottom or push out on the top. Push out on the bottom if they had teleport, I suspect. But actually,
Diode is going to get just chunked down. The culling finds a kill for Zayas, or Haydel, whichever one you want to call him. The tier 2 is going to be the next big target, as it will look to go down here. Sonic Wave connects, but Lee Sin does not want to go in into that one. Morden with the spirit call, not just going in. And now they're going to pressure this next inhibitor turret up top. They will get a bunch of damage onto it, as well as poke down JWoww just a little bit. Zayas is getting all the free time he needs to get the damage onto this turret. But Ocelot's able to do a bunch of damage to Gilius. He gets the stealth off from the ult for some damage reduction. The turret is so close to falling. Smitty's just looking to man up and tank it. It will go down. Dominus gets popped by JWoww. Gilius is jumping into the back line, finds the kill on a Yuki, and he will get kicked back for it while JWoww gets focused down. It looks like they're chasing him out. Stun comes in from Waterfox. Ignite comes through. He does not find that orb to connect. He gets the Q, though. The Ignite will tick down, and that'll be Morden going down to him. Inhibitor falls, and is this possibly going to be game?
It's looking very much like it would be. It was do or die on that last engage, and they've ended up dead. There are still 2 members quite low from SK Prime here, so could be delayed for now.
Oh, look at the stun of
Oh,
Ocelot.
no.
He's going to get blown up, and he does get double distortion away. Solar Flare comes in from DU, but he's going to go down. Ocelot falls to Gilios. Get into the reset on the wing jump, and that'll be game 1. Over to SK Prime.
Yeah, not the results I was expecting. The less experienced team able to come out on top. So Gamers2 gonna have to be very, very careful about how they play out the rest of this series. We would normally want to, normally expect to see them being the ones going up against NIP. They were the ones going up against NIP in the finals last time, but if they lose to SK Prime, they will move on. And that does mean SK